Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be discussing some more rumors and also we'll be analyzing some confirmed transfers. So without further ado, let's get on to the video. The first sort of news we are going to be analyzing is a confirmed transfer. As you can tell, it's about Richarlison moving to Everton. Now let's just wait there and analyze this transfer. Everton have brought Richarlison for 40 million. Initially, Watford were asking 50 million for Richarlison, but Everton was able to reduce that asking price to 40 million. But still, 40 million for a 21-year-old Brazilian, it's a lot. He had a good few weeks at the starting of his career with Watford, at the starting of the season I should say, but he didn't show much. He didn't show like he was worth around 40 million, but evidently Watford thought he was, and Everton also agreed on it. So there's nothing more to say, but let's just take a look at how he performed. He didn't score too many goals for Watford, neither did he make that many key passes, but still they took him up. Everton took him up because they thought that he would be a quality signing. I'm not doubting the signing. The only thing that is mind-boggling here is, why did they buy such a young guy who hasn't even promised that much for 40 million? Now that is some piece of news that many of the football fans are confused about, and this is again not good piece of business by Everton. They spent 200 million last season, I believe, and they still finished 8 below Burnley, and they failed to qualify for Europe this year, and they are doing it again. They are just not learning from their mistakes, and if they keep on doing this, they might find themselves in a very sticky situation. Next piece of news comes from the Spanish capital, Madrid, as they extend their hunt for the search of a new goalkeeper to replace their Costa Rican shotstopper Keylor Navas. Now the person they have identified to do this is Chelsea's Thibaut Courtois. Now Madrid have been linked with Courtois for a few months, but nothing serious has been reported until a couple of days ago that some sources reported that Madrid have actually agreed personal terms with Thibaut Courtois, and this didn't seem evident until yesterday. Thibaut Courtois unfollowed Chelsea on his Instagram. Now this is a big source of news, and apparently Chelsea fans are not liking it, and they want Chelsea to sell Thibaut Courtois on this action of his. And yeah, so Madrid have really agreed personal terms, but nothing has been agreed between Madrid and Chelsea. For no fees has been agreed, no talks have been issued yet, but Madrid are looking to make a move on Thibaut Courtois. And also with this rumor comes the signing of Robert Green, who Chelsea have signed to effectively, I don't know if this is true or not, replace Courtois. Of course, I don't think that this is true because Robert Green is 38 years old and he's a veteran goalkeeper, but he isn't as good as Thibaut Courtois. And the main use of him, the main reason of bringing him to the club was to train the youngsters. And if Thibaut Courtois leaves, Chelsea would have to seriously look out for a new talented goalkeeper, and because it will take a lot of hard work to search a goalkeeper as talented as Courtois until they can just swap someone like Neuer or Ter Stegen in like Liverpool did for Alisson. Now heading over to Manchester, and it looks like Jose Mourinho, after having a terrible preseason, is looking to strengthen his midfield to have a better Premier League season than last year and hope to win the Premier League title this year. For this, he has identified his main target in the form of Sergei Milinkovic-Savic, who he thinks that he should be brought to the club at all costs. Now, Sergei Milinkovic-Savic had a brilliant season with Lazio. We saw it in Serie A in the Europa League. He's a great shot taker, has a good dribble on him, and he's a great passer also. He's just a perfect midfielder, and Jose Mourinho looks like that he could complete this signing to bring Milinkovic-Savic to United. Now Fred has also been brought to United, so it looks like Mourinho is really looking to strengthen his midfield, as Pogba hasn't performed as much as expected of him. And also the news doesn't stop here, as midfield is not the only place that Mourinho is trying to improve, but also the defense, as Luke Shaw and Matthew Darmian look like they could be out of their way to other clubs. and also he's looking to bring more left backs and right backs in, more full backs with better performances for him, with the guys who understand his tactics apparently. So that is why he's trying to sell Luke Shaw and Matteo Darmian and bring in people who apparently know his tactics and know how to work with him. And one of them is not a defender but is a striker, and is Willian. And Willian is also looking to come in, to leave Chelsea and come to Manchester United, and Mourinho has also identified him as a target to strengthen their attack. Now the last season in January, they bought Alexis Sanchez. It hasn't really worked out for them, but who knows, maybe he was just settling into the team and maybe he could have a great Premier League season this time. But no matter what, Mourinho is still looking on Willian as a target. Also, Lazio know that many clubs are interested in Sergei Milinkovic-Savic, and so to replace him, they have identified Aaron Ramsey, the Arsenal midfielder, who has played well in the last season for Arsenal. Now Arsenal have been struggling for a lot of seasons under Wenger. They finished 6th and didn't qualify for the Champions League for 2 successive seasons. But one of the players who stood up for them in these difficult times was Aaron Ramsey. He had a brilliant season, and he's just a complete midfielder like Milinkovic-Savic, only older, I would say. And Lazio think that he would be the perfect fit if Milinkovic-Savic leaves. Now, the condition here is that Ramsey is running down his contract at Arsenal, and if Arsenal don't renew his contract, then they could be in a similar situation like Sanchez, where they just have to sell him or he just goes to Lazio for free, which would be disastrous for Arsenal as they are under a new manager, and this would not be the start Unai Emery would prefer. Also, Chelsea are still looking for replacements of Willian, because they know that Willian wants to leave, and many clubs wants to buy Willian, like Barcelona and Man United. And also, Willian confirmed it himself. He didn't actually say anything or do anything, but after winning the FA Cup, he actually made his Antonio Conte invisible by placing trophies over him, and he didn't do anything to the rest of the squad. This shows that he is not happy with his role at the club and wants to be united with manager Jose Mourinho and wants to go to Manchester United. And so for this, Maurizio Sarri and the Chelsea board of directors have recognized Leon Bailey as a target. Now, this would take some type of bidding, because Arsenal are also in for him, and so is Roma, because Roma just lost out to Barcelona in the signing of Malcolm, which was hijacked. Apparently they announced that Malcolm was going to come to Roma and the fee had been agreed, and they were waiting for Malcolm to arrive and to agree on personal terms, but that didn't happen, and Barcelona came in and put a higher bid, and Malcolm ended up going to Barcelona. So Roma want another winger, and they have recognized Leon Bailey. Now Leon Bailey wants to move. He had a brilliant season with Leverkusen in the Bundesliga. He scored great goals, provided a lot of assists, and now he recognizes his talent, and he knows that to develop much better, and he would have to go to a better league and would have to face better opposition to be a better player. And for this, he is looking to move away from Germany, and it looks like that Chelsea is his most likely destination, but opposition from Arsenal and Roma could put Chelsea behind. But as for now, Chelsea are front runners for his contract. Also, it has been reported that he is not only a replacement for Willian, but they also see him as a replacement for Eden Hazard. As Hazard has also been linked with Real Madrid, similarly to Courtois, but nothing has been agreed. No personal terms have been agreed with Hazard and Real Madrid, but Chelsea are still, a little cautious and looking to proceed much better in this time with. So they are looking to potentially replace Hazard, I should say, with Leon Bailey. And if Willian also leaves, then they are going to have to bring in another winger, but that hasn't been actually disclosed by Chelsea, but interest has been confirmed by Chelsea in Leon Bailey, as Sky Sports reported that Chelsea are looking to make a bid in the coming days. And this would be much easier because Leon Bailey has requested a transfer from Bayer Leverkusen, but he has said anywhere would be great. He didn't take the name of any club, but he did say that apart from Germany. So we have to keep an eye on this rumor and see how it develops. Also, as I told you about Eden Hazard leaving Chelsea and Willian leaving Chelsea, so a potential target for Chelsea could be, now this hasn't been disclosed by the club or nothing has been too serious about it that Chelsea are really looking on this guy, but they could sign this guy because he has been linked with a lot of clubs because of his great performance with Crystal Palace in the last season. He was their star man by far, and he was one of the main reasons they stayed up in the Premier League. So now he himself knows that he has to go somewhere else to have a better career, and so he is trying to move on. Now Chelsea haven't been linked with him as seriously as a German club has been, which is Dortmund. Dortmund has been linked with him very severely, and they are looking to even pay more than 30 million for Wilfried Zaha, but Crystal Palace say that they need 60 million for Zaha and that they won't sell him for less than that. But Dortmund are not willing to pay that. They're just willing to pay 40 million and less than that. So they're actually negotiating with Crystal Palace for Zaha's signature. Also, Chelsea has noticed this, but Chelsea are still have not put an initial bid, and they still haven't confirmed anything about Zaha as Dortmund have. Moving on, as we told you that Manchester United was looking to strengthen their defense with better fullbacks, here's a fullback that Manchester United wants, and this fullback's name is Alexandro. He has proved himself with Juventus for a couple of seasons. He has been great. He has played games in the Champions League. He has won many titles with Juventus, and Mourinho sees him as a perfect fit in place of Luke Shaw or Matthew Darmy, and potentially. Now he has been creating a lot of chances and assists, but he does not want to go away from Juventus. Nothing has been said by him that he wants to go. Nothing has been said by Juventus, not even Massimiliano Allegri, that the player has contacted them or that they are looking to sell the player. But United are still on the move for him and are trying their best to get him, and it would cost around 60 million if they want to get Alexandro, maybe even more than that, because as we know Juventus just bought CR7, and if they sell Alexandro, which is very unlikely, they will sell him for potentially more than 60 million, as they spend a lot of their money on CR7. Well, this is a very unlikely rumor, but we should see what happens with this. Tell me what you guys think about this in the comment section below. And as always guys, make sure to like this video and comment for me to tell me how to improve my channel, and suggest ways and other rumors if you have heard them yourself. And if you're new around here, please subscribe, and yeah, see you.